Guys, welcome to my channel. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Prerna. I have a full-time job and along with that I love to travel. I have been traveling solo for the past couple of years and a lot of times my friends or acquaintances reach out to me for information or tips related to my travels that I have done. So I thought this is a good time to create my own channel and share my experiences with you all. So please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would be sharing a lot of content related to travel and yeah, let's get started. So I thought this is a good time to start my channel as I would soon be traveling to Europe and I got my 1 month tourist visa approved and I applied it on my own without an agent. I understand it's quite a complicated process. There are multiple documents involved, so I wanted to share the whole experience with you all and guide you through the step-by-step process of how to get it done and share my first-hand experience as well. If you have any additional questions, please put them into the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. And so this video would be broken down in two parts. First will definitely be about the process, what is Schengen visa, when to apply, how to apply, and the costs involved. The second would primarily be about the documents because it requires a lot of documents, and every time you apply for a Schengen visa you have to follow the same process and you have to submit the same number of documents. So let's get started. So to start with, what is a Schengen visa? Schengen visa is a visa which gives you access to 27 countries within the Schengen region. So with this one visa, you can access all the countries. You do not need any separate visas for all of them. So it comes out to be an amazing visa. But then again, with it comes a huge load of documentation, but I will break it down for you. So when to apply for a Schengen visa? So it's suggested that you apply at least 15 to 20 days before your trip, but I would suggest apply as early as possible. So I applied 2.5 months before my trip and I got it approved with 20 days. So when I went for my appointment, I asked and I was told it will take around 7 to 14 days, but however it got delayed as I'm traveling in peak summer season, so it got delayed. So to avoid any such last minute cancellations or any such problems that you might encounter, I would suggest apply at least 1 to 2 months in advance to keep a buffer time. So there are multiple types of Schengen visas, which would be work related or tourist visas, but today I am going to talk about the tourist visa, which is what I applied for. I applied for a 1 month visa and I got that. So again, there are multiple entry options. So for example, there's single entry, there's multiple entry. So single entry, as the name suggests, you can enter the Schengen area only once and you can exit it only once. So I'm going to give like a good example over here. One of my friends, she recently traveled to Europe and she had like a single entry visa. So she had a connecting flight from Spain to Greece, but the layover was in a different country. So what happened in that case is she landed into that specific airport, it was considered that she has already left the Schengen area and so she could not enter Greece. So in such situations she could not continue her journey and she had to come back. So to avoid any such situations and also there's no price difference if you apply for a single entry or multiple entry, I would suggest please go always apply for multiple entry. That's the best option. I did multiple entry and I got it approved as well. So for the Schengen visa, the embassies have outsourced it to VFS. Whichever embassy you want to apply for, they have a separate VFS site. For example, I applied for the France embassy and there's a separate site for VFS France and I have to apply there. Once you're booking an appointment, you will have a drop down where you can select your nearest VFS center. So next is which embassy to apply the visa for. So it primarily depends on two factors. First is which is your entry point. So for example, my entry point is Paris or France. So I applied for the VFS France embassy. So for example, if your first landing point is maybe Spain or Italy, so you have to apply for the entry point of embassy of the entry point, which is Italy or Spain. Again, the second factor depends on how many days are you going to spend in that specific country. So for example, I'm going to spend 1 week in Paris but 15 days in Italy. So in that case, I should apply to the Italy embassy. But in case if you have a clash that you have two countries where you plan to spend the equal number of days, for example 1 week in Paris and 1 week in Italy, then in that case your preference should be the country which is your entry point. In this situation it would be Paris. So I am going to spend the maximum days in Paris, and also my entry point is Paris. So I applied for the France embassy and I got it approved. So how to apply? Now that you have decided the embassy you want to apply for, you go ahead and go to their VFS site. So for example, I have applied to the VFS France embassy. In that case, there are two steps involved again. One is an appointment letter and one is a visa application. So in certain cases, for example in France, you first have to fill up the visa application before actually booking your appointment, but it might differ from country to country. Complete your visa application, but for example France embassy, you always have to complete your visa application before, and you get a specific number after that, a number that is allotted, and you use that to book your appointment. So just go ahead and check whatever is the process for your specific country. Now, what is the cost involved? So once you are booking your visa application, you have to pay a fee of around 2000 rupees. Again, it might be a little different for different countries. And once you go for your appointment, you have to pay for your visa application, which is around 7000 rupees. So roughly I would say around 10,000 rupees is a ballpark number which you would be required to pay for your whole process. So once we are done with your appointment at the center, the VFS team will charge you for certain additional services, which are something like the SMS service, courier charges, or additional courier security. So this is completely your call. You can take if you want this service, but I would recommend at least go for the SMS services. It gives you time to time track of where your passport is. It gives you a regular update of your whole status. I'll share my personal experience here. Though I had paid for the SMS service, I somehow did not get it. So as I mentioned earlier, I got it in 20 days, and it was so weird for me because for the whole gap of 20 days I received no notification, no emails, no SMS, and I was quite panicky, obviously, for that same reason. I reached out to VFS in that center, and they had sent me like a refund form. They acknowledged that it was a mistake from their end, and they sent me a refund form. So I'm yet to receive the refund, but that's how it is. But I have heard generally these are quite well, so mine was, I think, a specific case. But please go for the services, because I have been through it and I know it's so panicky when you're not receiving any information. It's quite a bad situation. But thing to note in mind is during the whole process, during any updates that you're getting, you will not get to know if your visa has been approved or rejected. Only once you physically receive your passport back and you open it, you would be able to see if there's a stamp on it. Also added to that, things to note in mind in your visa is there are two things. One is the number of days and one is the validity. So validity is the duration during which you can travel to the Schengen area. For example, I had applied for 1 month visa and I got the number of days as 30 days. However, my validity was 1.5 months. So what that means is during that 1.5 months I can spend any 30 number of days during that period. So how does that work? Generally the visa application, they give you the number of days that you have applied for, and they keep a few buffer days here and there. Again, for the number of days, for the number of validity, we have no say in it. You present your best case possible, but again it's up to the visa officer how much they want to give. We can just hope that they are kind enough and give you a longer duration, but we cannot do much about it. So yeah, if you like my video and found it helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I would be sharing all my Europe trip updates and all my trips going forward over here. And I hope you have a great day and you plan your Europe trip soon. Thank you.